So today we're going to finish up the 6-5 notes. We're going to learn how to graph the tangent graph or the tangent curve. So again, these are all the notes for cosecant and secant. These were the examples we already did. So here is what the tangent graph looks like. And again, it also has asymptotes. However, the cycle for tangent is only going to be pi instead of 2 pi, the normal cycle. Notice all of these blue lines here. These are similar to the x cubed graph. So remember, the x cubed graph looks like this. Now, if we have a negative tangent curve, then it's going to look like the negative x cubed graph, and it's going to go like that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and we'll have speed changes on this, and let's see what else. We're just going to do a speed change here. So if you think about it, for the tangent graph, again, if you look at these axis points, again, the 0 and the 2 pi, the pi over 2, the pi, and then down here, the 3 pi over 2. Again, remember these order pairs that you're using, 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and then 0, negative 1. So if you were to do, say, tangent of 0, remember tangent is y over x, so tangent of 0 is using this order pair. So you would plug in 0 over 1, and tangent of 0 is equal to 0. So notice right here on your graph, it's the order pair right here. Then if you were to do tangent of pi over 2. Again, y over x, pi over 2, the order pair is going to be the 0, 1. So 1 over 0, and this is undefined. So that's why here at pi over 2, we've got an asymptote. So whenever it's undefined, that's where our asymptotes are located. But I'm going to show you a cool trick to help you find the asymptotes where you don't need to worry about figuring out where is it undefined. So I'm going to show you a cool trick when we start to graph these. So let's just go ahead, and I know it's not on here, but let me add a slide. And let's graph this by hand, the y equals tangent of x. So let's do it all by hand. So this is the same thing that was in the picture. So I'm going to graph this, y equals tangent of x. So remember, the normal cycle here for tangent is no longer 2 pi. It's going to just be pi. So notice there's only a 1 in front of this. So really what I'm doing here is pi divided by 1 is just pi. So the cycle is pi. So this is one cycle. And then what I can do is, I'm going to go ahead and take the pi, multiply it by 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and again, the full cycle, 4 over 4, which is just pi. So this becomes pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4. So let me go ahead and put all of these points on my graph. So I have pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, pi, and then the reflection on this in this direction, negative pi over 4, negative pi over 2, negative 3 pi over 4, and then negative pi. Now, what I like to do is I like to box in my graph. So I'm going to go ahead and make a box around this. Let's do it in black. Now, always at this calculation here, when you multiply the cycle by 1/2, this is going to be an asymptote. It's basically the second point that you find, and it's also the middle of your box here on both sides. So at both positive and negative, pi over 2, we've got an asymptote. We also have asymptotes, and then from there, that's the only place we're going to put our asymptote. So then now what we're going to do is we're going to put points on all of these. So at the pi, here, here, here. I take that back. We're going to only put points here at pi over 4, and I'm going to take on the x cubed graph. Now, this is out of the box, so I really don't need to see this half of it, but if it helps you, you can do that. The amplitude on here. So it's actually 1 and 1. So right here, at pi over 4, it's here, and negative pi over 4, it's here, and then 3 pi over 4, and negative, that's where these points are. So it's not on the axis, it's going up towards it. So let's try the next one. Again, these are the rules you can do and follow, the steps. But again, let's just do it. So again, 4 here in front of x. Whenever this number is greater than 1, it means that our graph is going to go up 4 times as fast. So again, the cycle normally is pi. So I'm going to now take pi and divide it by 4. It's pi over, or it's that pi divided by b, and this is my b value. Remember, the 2 is my amplitude. So now again, I'm going to take it and break it into quarters. So pi over 4 times 1/4, pi over 4 times 1/2, pi over 4 times 3/4, pi over 4 times 4 over 4. So this becomes pi over 16, pi over 8. Again, remember, this is going to be an asymptote. This will be 3 pi over 16, 4 pi over 16. Actually, I could simplify that before I multiply. But if you didn't recognize it, it's still the same thing, pi over 4. All right, so let me go ahead and set up my graph. So pi over 16, pi over 8, 3 pi over 16, pi over 4. Again, the other side is like a reflection. So negative pi over 16, negative pi over 8, negative 3 pi over 12 over 16, and then lastly pi over 4, negative. We have an amplitude, so I'll say a 2, and then here a negative 2. And again, let me box it in. So again, we've got an asymptote here at the second point, at the pi over 8 and the negative pi over 8. So again, over here, at the ends, that's where it's a value of 0. But then remember, at the negative 3 pi over 16, it goes up this way. And then this one would have been out. And then again, you've got another point here in the middle. And this one would be here, and negative pi over 16 would be here. And again, it's taking on the shape of the x cubed graph. And then over here, it would be here and down, and then this is out of your box. So really the answer to this question would only be the red. Let's try one more where we're going to slow it down. Okay, so for the next one, notice this number is less than 1. It's going to be slower This one's going to be negative. So when we're done, it's going to be like the negative x cubed graph. So this is your amplitude. So again, we're going to take pi, because that's the normal cycle for tangent. We're dividing it by 1/2. Key flip, change it. Because really, so it's really pi times 2/1, or just 2. So the cycle now, or the cycle length is 2 pi. So again, take that, multiply it by 1/4, 1/2. This is where an asymptote is going to be. 2 pi times 3/4. 2 pi times 4/4. So this is just 2 pi. This simplifies. So you could change these to a 1 and a 2. So then this just becomes pi over 2. This just becomes pi. And again, this is an asymptote. And then this simplifies. And it becomes 3 pi over 2. Notice these are all those axis quadrant angles. So again, let's make our coordinate plane here. Box it in. Pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. Do the same thing on the other side. Negative pi over 2, negative pi, negative 3 pi over 2, and then lastly, negative 2 pi. And it had an amplitude, so it's going to go up to 3, and then negative 3 here. Box it in. It helps. The box is optional, but it just helps me to see it a little bit better so I know where my points go. Remember, you have an asymptote at that middle point, so at pi and negative pi. And then you're going to have a point here, here, and here. And again, it's taking on the negative x cubed graph. So again, actually, let's reach it up to here so it would look like that. And then down here. And then over here. And then this one would have been out of the box. And then same thing over here. This would be out of the box. But then this is back in. And there's your graph. It would be all the red. And again, we're not graphing cotangent. So that is it for the tangent graph.